So this fact might shock you. Hi my loves, welcome back. So today's video is going to be super lighthearted. It's going to be super fun. Did you know it's been 6 years since I've done a video like this? It's very old school, but I thought it would be funny because I'm going to be telling you 50 facts that you probably don't know about me. So fact number 1, I actually love being in my PJs, and if I could, I would be in my PJs and this fluffy robe all day. So I thought it would be perfect to film this video in no makeup, in my fluffy robe, which Miss S got me, just super casual Mel. I'm actually not as glamorous as you may think. I've actually always wanted green eyes. I've tried colored contacts, but they just don't suit me. So my first car was a 1987 Toyota Corolla. No power steering, no air conditioning, 4 gears. It was a zippy little thing. And I remember it cost me like $3,000. I owned it for a few years. It was pre-loved, but I have good memories in that car. So did you know that Mel in Melbourne, my whole channel name, actually originated from my local post office manager? So I used to go to the post office quite a lot because when I was doing sort of children's fashion, I used to do a lot of postage, and he would say, "Hi Mel in Melbourne." And then when I decided to do YouTube, Mel in Melbourne was born. Okay, might be a bit gross, bit TMI. I have dry earwax.
Oh, gross.
Fun fact, there are 2 types of earwax, wet and dry. You know the wet, yellowy, peanut buttery consistency? I don't have that earwax. I have dry, white earwax. And apparently, people from Southeast Asia or Koreans or even Native Americans, they tend to have this type of earwax. Do you have wet or dry earwax? Comment below. The rest of the fam all have regular earwax. So one thing on my bucket list is that I would love to design my own house one day, like exactly how I would love it. I know friends that have gone through building their house saying, "Mel, don't do it. It is very stressful." But one day, hopefully, I would love to do that. I've actually always wanted to do like a short course on interior design. So that's something I'm very interested in as well. I really want to go skydiving just once in my life. I actually had booked it with hubby when we were in our early 20s, but then my mother-in-law found out and begged us not to go because she thought, something bad would happen. And ever since then, I haven't mustered up the courage to, book it in again, but I would love to go just once. Who's been skydiving before? Comment below. The next fact is I am obsessed with Korean dramas. Like the very first one I watched was Winter Sonata. It was so soppy. I binged watched it in a day. I cried my eyes out. This was like 20 years ago. Since then, I've just loved K-dramas since. So my best friends are still the ones I've known since high school, since we were about 14 years old. If you haven't seen my Dior vlog where I go shopping with them, you can see all of them. We have been friends for 28 years and I love them so much. Shout out to my high school girls. So I don't actually have any tattoos. Maybe it's a midlife crisis, but I actually want one now, but I'm not sure where. But if I was to get one, I would want something really fine. I don't know, maybe somewhere on my hands or ankles. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of getting one, and Sunshine's shocked. I never, ever in a million years thought I would be a cat person. But since owning Chino and Chai, so Chino's just turned 1 about a month ago, Chai's about 9 months, I am officially a crazy cat lady. I love them so, so much, and I can't imagine my life without both of them now. I used to hate sparkling water, but now it's the only water I drink. I think tap water tastes funny, but this is good stuff. I am definitely a late person, and so are all my friends, luckily. We have a running joke. It's been that way since high school, since uni. It's like, "I'll meet you at this time." And it was like our high school time, which we're always 15 minutes to half an hour late. Hubby hates it because he's an early person. So I actually earn a full-time income from doing what I love, which is doing YouTube and Instagram now, amongst other income streams, which I have done in a personal Q&A, but I love it. And it's brought me so much freedom to be able to spend time with the family and also have an online family like you guys. I do work really hard, and I'm happy to say that, you know, what I'm earning now, it's more than what I've earned in any of my corporate jobs. So I do want to thank all you guys for supporting my channel and enabling me to do this like full time. Though I must admit, I do miss my fashion buying days. So even though I've lived in Melbourne since I was 3, I'm still quite Asian-y in the sense that I still need to have rice at least 3 times a week. Otherwise, I feel like something's missing, you know, just a good bowl of rice and some meat and some vegetables, and Mel is very happy. I wish I could speak another language. I am so jealous of all you guys out there that are bilingual or trilingual. I mean, I speak a dialect, but no one knows it, so it doesn't count. So I really only speak English, but I would love to either speak French or Italian or even Korean. I've actually loved thrift shopping since I was a teenager. So it's not just a new thing that you've seen on my channel, though I'm glad that you liked the recent thrift shop vlog. I love it. I don't know, something about just not knowing what you're gonna find. It's like a little treasure hunt. So I've always loved it. So besides loving luxury bags and collecting luxury bags, I used to actually collect handmade dolls, especially when Miss S was young. I love the handmade community. I used to buy her a lot of handmade dresses. So I have like quite a lot of handmade dolls, and I used to also love 1/12 miniatures. I'm just obsessed with anything miniature. So this fact might shock you. I am actually quite an introverted person. I know, right? I do YouTube, it doesn't seem like it. But the older I get, I think the more introverted I become, and I just definitely need time on my own, and I've just become more and more of a homebody. So when hubby and I retire, we would actually love to buy a house in a different country. We're not sure where. I mean, at the moment we're thinking Hawaii because we just love it there and it feels like a second home. But it'll be so nice to be able to, like in winter, like 3 months of the year, live somewhere else, and then also live in Melbourne. Like Melbourne's always going to be home, but wouldn't it be great to just live somewhere else for like 3 months in the year? So I'm actually very self-critical, and something that I need to work on. Who can relate? So I first met hubby when I was in year 8. It was like a group friend outing to watch a movie, actually in Chadstone, the same girls as I know today. They were in my Dior vlog, and we were watching Johnny Depp's Don Juan DeMarco. It was back in 1994. I am definitely an overthinker. And sometimes it can be just so exhausting and stressful, you know, like when you want to go to sleep, but your like brain won't shut off. That is so me. You know, that meme, that's me to a T. For many years, I actually used to volunteer at the Salvos or the Salvation Army, and I loved it. It was so cool when deliveries came in and you would see all the stuff and then you get first pick. And also I used to volunteer with women that were experiencing domestic violence. I used to volunteer with this lady who had 2 kids, and I really, really enjoyed it. And that's something I definitely want to do more of, get back into volunteering. I am actually such a sentimental person. I have a huge shoebox, I should say several. I've got all the letters hubby has ever written to me, all the cards for the past 25 years. I've even got letters from my pen pals. Who remembers pen pal friends? Really shows you your age. And even letters from my high school girls that we used to pass each other. So super sentimental. I used to teach Sunday school at church, and it was like the 3 to 6 year old age group, and I loved it. I almost actually did early childhood education instead of business for university. So if I wasn't doing what I was doing now, I'll probably be like a kindergarten teacher. So you guys already know that I'm one of 7, but I actually have a huge family. My grandma is like one of 13. My mum is one of 8. And in my grandmother's side, well, it's my dad's side of the family, it was that my grandma was the second. So my dad is actually older than her youngest sister, if that makes sense. So there are so many relatives I haven't even met. And I would actually love to meet all my relatives one day. People often say I have a really warm smile, which is really nice, but I've actually never had braces. And that's thanks to my mum. So even now, Sunshine and Miss S, even though Sunshine is an adult and Miss S is definitely a teenager, she's getting to the bit more, you know, that rebellious stage, but we are super close. They still come into our bed and we still have chats. And that's one thing I'm super proud of, the close relationship that I share with the both of them. So I do love the beach, but in terms of holidays, I can't do a holiday where it's just a resort or it's just a beach holiday where you just lie down and do nothing. I love a mix of shopping, sightseeing, and some relaxing. So that is my favorite type of holiday. I love watching before and after makeover shows, especially those extreme cleaning ones. I don't know, I find it very therapeutic, and then it inspires me then to declutter. Do you guys feel the same? So yes, hubby and I definitely still argue. I think all married couples or people in relationships, we argue. But I tend to use analogies a lot in my arguments because it helps them understand. So that's okay with me. Can I please have a cappuccino? So a cappuccino is definitely my go-to coffee order. But ever since Sunshine bought us our Espresso machine a few years ago, I have that every day. It's like the best thing, and it's one of the best gifts he's ever given us. I've never had a broken bone in my body. Touch wood. I don't have wood, but touch wood. I don't because, yeah, I'm scared of getting a broken bone. I love my chocolate, and my favorite chocolate is Cadbury Twirl. If you haven't tried this, you need to. I love these little bite sizes. Maybe I don't feel as guilty as much, but end up eating a lot. But it's so good. It's kind of flaky. As you can see, it's all layers of chocolate, and it's so good. But another really Australian chocolate that I love is Tim Tams. And for those of you that haven't tried this, you need to try the Tim Tam Slam. Okay, so I've got my coffee. I told you before, I love my cappuccino. This is a Tim Tam. You bite one end, and then you bite, oops, the other end. And then you dunk it in your coffee and suck up the coffee. So like this. So what happens is all the coffee gets into the Tim Tam. And it's a gooey mess, but oh my goodness, it's so good. So good. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. I love my bed. I don't know, not only do I love watching Netflix in it, but I do emails. As much as I can, I just love being in my bed. Did you know Gen Z has a term called bed rotting? I just found this out the other day. And it's when they just do everything in bed. Okay, maybe I don't do everything in bed, but if I can be in bed, that's where you'll find me. So maybe I'm a bed rotter. So I'm a big believer in counselling, and it's not just when times are really, really tough, but hubby and I still do marriage counselling from time to time. I don't think it needs to get really, really bad before you go and talk to someone about it. And yeah, even with the kids, we've always encouraged them that if they're facing certain issues, to talk to someone because they're trained professionals. So I see nothing wrong with that, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed if you need to see and talk to someone if you're going through something. So I have this really annoying random chin whisker. It's like right here. And every few weeks I have to pluck it out. Like, it's really hard and black and thick, and it's just so weird because I'm not really a hairy person, but there's just one chin whisker I've had and it just won't go away. I'm a super detailed orientated person. It's good in a way that I guess you guys like my in-depth reviews and everything like that, but oh my gosh, hubby and the kids can't stand it because I'm always like, is it to mummy standard? And there's a running joke with, yes, we've done it to mummy standard, rolling the eyes. So even though I can't understand Korean, and I do understand some Mandarin, I love Chinese and Korean, like ballads, you know, the slow type of melodies. I don't know, I don't understand it, but it's kind of always sad and dramatic, but I just love listening to it. So you always hear I have like a Korean or Chinese playlist in the background. Oh, And I still can't whistle. I said this in my very first Random Facts About Me. If you did want to go watch, it's from years ago, but 6 years ago, I couldn't whistle. Now, still can't whistle. That's it. So ever since I could remember, I've always loved bags, shoes, accessories, and, working with kids, as I said before. That's one of the reasons I became a fashion buyer for many, many years. I had a near-death experience when I was sort of in my mid-20s. So we were on the freeway and we were coming back from a funeral. So a friend of a friend was driving, and he was driving at, I think, 100 to 110 kilometers per hour. Anyway, we were on the most outer lane, so the fastest lane, and he lost control. He hit the barrier. So this is when it was peak hour traffic. He hit the barrier at 110 kilometers per hour. We spun across 3 lanes, hit the embankment where all the trees were, and all of us survived. Like, we had some whiplash. We didn't have any serious injuries. But do you know when, I don't know if you've gone through this, but in those few seconds, it's like your life flashes through your eyes. And I just remember it being so slow yet so quick. And so many people actually stopped their cars and said they could not believe that we were all okay, because we were spinning out of control, and it was just within those minute seconds that there wasn't any traffic, and we avoided ongoing cars as well. I think that it was definitely God's hands that was over and protecting us, but that was super, super scary, especially since we had just come back from a funeral. But thank goodness all of us were okay, but that was my near-death experience. So in year 12, I actually was voted Belle of the Ball. I was so shocked. It was a teacher's vote, and I still have the sash today, and I was just like really surprised. And I remember the person that got View of the Ball, I had like a major crush on him when I was like in year 7, just for like a little bit. But I just thought it was so funny that he was View and I was Belle. Since we're on the high school train, one thing that I experienced when I was in year 7, I had to change schools. So year 7 is like the first year of high school here in Australia. And I changed from an all-girls school to a public school. And I was severely, severely bullied, like to the extent where it was physical, it was mental, they stole money from me. And I'm really, really sensitive to any sort of bullying issues ever since. So I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, because it was so bad that I was scared to go to school for like half a year. But on a positive note, thank goodness the next year after, I met my girlfriends who are still my friends today. So all ended well. My dream bag is either the Himalayan Birkin, which the Himalayan Birkin or Kelly, which is super, super rare, or as per my wish list, the Birkin Faubourg, which looks like, the Paris store. Again, so hard to get. If you want to get those bags, basically, you need to be like a mega spender at Hermes, like VVVVVIP. But one can be hopeful, right? So I actually have very short natural eyelashes, hence why I do have eyelash extensions. As I mentioned before, I'm not wearing any makeup, but eyelashes definitely make a difference. You just wake up and you kind of look like you have makeup on already. So I feel like I can't live without them now. So besides this YouTube channel, a few years back, I nearly started a mukbang. I told you guys this before. I love watching eating shows. I almost started a mukbang channel with Sunshine. I so wish we did now, because I feel like we've totally missed the train on that. But I don't know. It's just, I find it very satisfying watching people eat lots and lots of food. Food equals happiness. My favorite flower are peonies. As you can see behind me, these are actually artificial peonies, but they're real touch. They're actually really nice. So hubby had bought this for me, and then my mum arranged it. So I love peonies, love them. Such a shame that they only bloom for such a short period of the year. And then the last random fact about me is I want another cat. I told you I'm a crazy cat lady, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. But hubby said no. But I reckon I'm going to still look anyway. So that is it, guys. That is 50 random fun, hopefully interesting facts about me that maybe you guys didn't know, I would also love to know. Please comment below 2 or 3 random facts about you. I love getting to know you guys. I love hearing random things. I can't be the only kind of weird one, right? And I wanted to make this video because it's been a while since I've done a question and answer video. And I thought, you know, it's a fun way to get to know me a bit more. And I also want to, I don't know, maybe we should make it a tag. It'll be nice to find out more things or interesting facts about some of your favorite YouTubers. So I'm just going to tag a few people down below, but I tag anyone that has a YouTube channel. I'm sure that your audience would love to know more about you or interesting facts about you. I know it's sort of old school, but I love watching these type of videos. So I hope you enjoyed this fun video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please join the fam. Oh, I still have my giveaway happening, so I think it finishes in a few days, so don't forget to enter that. But once we hit 350k, we're gonna do like something pretty big, like a big bag or something. But anyway, thank you. I really appreciate your time watching. Have a fabulous day or night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.